Hey guys, how are you? So, not so much a photography vlog today, more a continuation of my tips. Some tips that I found have been really useful. These are going to be a little more general than those other ones. Come on, Corona, good girl. But yeah, so if you're out in the boonies, you know, you're out anywhere where it's a bit wild and woolly, yeah, preparation is always a good idea. And if I'm going to an area that's new, I'll either go without all of this junk, have a look around, take the dogs for a walk, and just see, you know, figure out some potential compositions, think about what they'd look like under different conditions, that kind of thing. I might look at some maps and see if there's different ways out, if I need to get out a different way. Planning, you can use an app like Photographer's Empress or Photo Pills, which is my preferred one at the moment. And always check for the weather. Colorado Rockies means you have to carry everything you could imagine you'd need. It's May 30th today, and I can't remember if we had snow yesterday or not, but we certainly did the day before. Not a whole lot, just sprinkles, but come on, Pep. If you're in shorts and a t-shirt, 10,000 feet, and it's just a sprinkle of snow, that'll still ruin your day. So we'll go through some of the general gear that I use, what I like to use and why I like to use it. Been a lot of trial and error over the years. A lot of going out to shoot stuff and then realizing you forgot the lens you wanted, or you thought you had the lens you wanted and it's a different lens, or there's no lens. Dead batteries, it's always a good one. Yeah, so obviously equipment, making sure your equipment's all good. And just being in that habit, you know. I'll generally have everything packed up and ready to go the night before or the morning before. Just making sure all my kit's clean and in good working order. Batteries are charged, I've got spare batteries. Transportation, and if you're using your own and you're doing landscape stuff, you better be sure your car's going to work, or your truck. And you don't have Nick Page rear end in you. Like you did to, I think it was Gavin Hardcastle, he rear-ended. But when Nick and Tom and Gavin and Adam and all those guys get together, it can get pretty crazy. And I don't know those guys. I wish I was closer to them. I could see them occasionally. I've only met them through workshops, but they're as cool and as much fun as they seem to be on their channels, for sure. But again, yeah, they've been doing it so long, it's second nature to them. But yeah, they still mess up occasionally. Forget a plate for a tripod or something like that. So, yeah, transportation. Spend that money on getting your car serviced or your truck serviced. Yeah, make sure your tyres are good. Make sure you got your spare there's nothing worse than trying to get somewhere and not being able to because you broke down, or trying to get home but you can't because you broke down. So if you can, bite the bullet, you know, and certainly lay out the money for that service if you can't do it yourself. I can change oil, and I can change tyres and stuff, although I just got a new truck, so not sure if I'm going to be changing the oil on that. It's a big old diesel, and you got fuel filters to change, 2 of them. The oil changes on those big diesels is a little different. I think my truck takes 12 quarts of oil. It looks like it's quite awkward to get to the filter. So, we'll see. If I'm feeling feisty, I might try it. But anyway, the point is, keep your vehicle in good condition and serviced. Yeah, same with your gear. You know, if you know you've got something fraying on one of your on your shoulder harness or your belt or something, you know, go ahead and get that done, because I guarantee you when it's going to fail, it's going to be the worst possible time. You don't want to be trying to jimmy rig a piece of string or rope or something to work as a shoulder strap if you've got 5-6 hours of hiking in front of you, or to get back to your car, and that will ruin your day. That's the other thing. You don't want to be doing that, but you can do that. So it's always good to have, you know, I usually have some, like a small roll of duct tape. They make those much smaller rolls. Duct tape, gaffer tape, they call it in England. But just the strong, sticky stuff will do a lot of repairs for you. And then paracord, like 200-300 pound breaking strain, just real thin cord that can get you out of a lot of trouble as well, or save a lot of situations. I routinely carry my tripod tool, so that has a couple of release things for the plates, but then also has a hex key on it, so I can adjust the legs on my tripod if I need to, or just like a Gerber multi-tool, something like that, has a Phillips and a flathead and a blade on it. They can be invaluable when you need to use them. You know, most of the time you're carrying them around like, why do I carry all that gear? Because you might need it. That's a couple of things. So, clothing. As far as clothing goes, number one for me is comfort. You know, if you're not comfortable, or something's bugging you, may not affect your photo shoot directly, but if you're out for a couple of days and you're miserable because something's not fitting right or is worn through or something, it can impact it for sure, and you certainly might miss something you wouldn't have done if you weren't tired or pissy about it. So as far as footwear goes, I'll generally be in hiking boots, and I hate to pay the extra, but I do go with Gore-Tex, because wet feet are miserable. The other thing with hiking boots, you know, if you do turn your ankle, they will give you a little more support and might save you a proper sprain. I really like Merrell's. I've been in them for years. I had one pair a year or two ago that the waterproofing just didn't hold up. And I spoke to their service department, customer service department, and even though I didn't have the receipt because of the age of it, they knew which model it was and everything. They were very happy to check it and replace it, but it was my left boot that was leaking, and from my accident I have a shorter left leg, so I have to send them away to have like a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch piece added into the sole. They just hot knife the sole in half, put in a new piece, and then put the original Vibram base on it. So having to say, it would have cost me almost as much for a new pair of boots. So I didn't actually end up taking advantage of that. So anyway, good footwear is essential, especially if you're hiking any distance. And of course, socks. You know, you want some socks that aren't going to make your feet sweat and be nasty. Again, for years I've been in Wigwam's Ultimaxes, and they seem to fit my foot really well, and they seem to last really well. They don't fall down, they don't rub, they don't pinch, they don't have seams in the wrong places. I've been happy with them. I've tried a couple of others. Darn Tough, one brand that I have a couple of pairs that I'm working with now, and they seem pretty good. And one other, and I can't remember who the other ones were, but they're actually working out again. But they're pricey. It's no 5 pairs for $10 kind of thing. You're going to be paying 10, 12, 15 bucks for a good pair of socks. Of course, you don't have to wear them all the time, just when you're really going to be gone out. I am invariably in jeans. I know a lot of people would be surprised about that. My rationale is, if I know it's going to be wet or snowy, I'm either going to have gaiters on or I'll have overpants on. But going through this scrub oak, all this kind of stuff, jeans are tough. I mean, that's what they were designed for originally. They will last really well. No, you don't want to get them wet. You don't want to be soaked in them. That will ruin your day, and especially in a serious situation, it can certainly contribute to hypothermia and stuff. But I'm comfortable in jeans. They're hard wearing. Like I say, to save the bottoms, just so you don't have to wash them all the time, I will wear gaiters up to my knees. I'm using Outdoor Researchers, kind of come just below my knee, but they'll save you a lot of wear and tear and a lot of cleaning as well. Undershirts, I will generally wear merino wool. Again, expensive. Some people will get some irritation from it. I don't at all. I can be in, worst comes to worst, I can be in one of my t-shirts or long sleeve tees for 2 or 3 days. If I mess up, it'll stay comfortable. They don't get crusty. They don't stink. So if you're not sensitive to the wool, I definitely suggest merino wool. I haven't tried any of the newer man-made fabrics. I know some of them, some of the nylon stuff is supposed to be a lot better than it was even a few years ago, but haven't needed to try it. I did have some of the old Duofolds. I can't remember who made those. I think that was Columbia years ago, and they were comfortable and worked great, but did they hold on to the smell? If you have a stronger body odor, yeah, no bueno. And then this top is old as hell. I wish I'd have bought 2 or 3 of them. This is a much heavier wool one. I think this is also merino, but one thing about merino is it does breathe. So, you know, even if you are getting a little hot or a little overheated, you know, you're not going to hold on to that that temperature.